honor and due where it's due, right? So one of the things that we decided to do was to rename our signature training, which is the Beloved Organizing and Training Institute, BOTHI. We've not offered this training at least since I've been at BCC the last 4 years, but we know that this training is important and it's necessary. And encompassed in that training is really the philosophy of not only Reverend Johnson, but Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Brandon, and all of the people who've come before us. If you have had the pleasure of reading the book Morningside, though that book talks about the events of November 3rd, 1979, when I read it, what I took from it was the evolution of those CWP organizers, kind of how they evolved in terms of their understanding of the world, how they wanted to show up. And all of us, if we allow ourselves to, we evolve, we grow, we learn. We don't stay where we are. As we get new information, we move forward. But a lot of what is revealed in that book is really the principles and the core of what the foundation of what leads Beloved Community Center today. So if you haven't read the book, I do suggest you read it. It'll give you some insights about who we are as an organization, the legacy that was laid and that was founded, why we move the way we move. At the heart of who we are is community organizers and community builders. We work with communities and with people across this state and beyond, really. Not that we feel like we have much special to offer, other than to recognize and to see the giftedness that's already in your community, right? But sometimes, because of the way the world is and the messages that come at us, we don't always see the gifts that we've been given. We always sometimes are encouraged to look outside of ourselves for the answers, but the answers are within you, within the community. And all we do is try to shine a light on what you have at your disposal to get to the solutions and the resolutions that you need to thrive in your community. But it is about us coming together to do that. And Reverend Johnson used to say, oftentimes, this need for deep listening and respectful speaking. And how I interpret that is that we need to be inquisitive. Instead of being anxious and ready to respond when someone's talking to us, we need to be thoughtful. We need to listen to what they're saying. And if we don't understand where their ideology comes from, instead of judging, because we don't know their trauma and they don't know ours, right? But we have to question and ask and try to understand so that we can find ways that we can connect. None of us are going to connect on everything. But if we can find the places where we have similarity, that is the place where we can build unity and where we can build community. Our differences are not intended to separate us. It's just to give us different flavors, right? So, you got a crayon box. There are different colors in the crayon box and in the rainbow. But it's that combination of colors that is beautiful to look at. So, I know I've said too much already, but I do want to say that what we want to do is we want to rename our training after Reverend but also Mrs. Johnson. So we will be naming our training the Reverend Nelson and Mrs. Joyce Johnson Organizing and Healing Institute. And with any luck, we plan to offer the next session of that in late 2026, early 2027. So please be on the lookout for that. And we hope that many of you will want to sign up and come and go through this training with us and hear kind of some of the lessons that they have collected in this powerful training. But not just that. We also, I don't know, those of you who are in Greensboro know that this year, Beloved has a house that is really just 2 doors down from the center where our offices are located, that it owns. And that house used to operate as a homeless hospitality house. And it's now boarded up, it's been boarded up, but it's a historic home. And so we moved this year to get that house designated as a historic property. And we got through the first hurdle of that. We got approval and recommendation from the Historic Preservation Commission here. And on the 17th of this month, it will go before the new city council to be finalized. And so this home at 437 Arlington Street will be designated locally as a historic property, we believe. And we're in the process now of having it designated both as a state and as a national, getting it on the state and national registry. In that house, or right now, Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Brandon, as our executives in residence, are working with a committee of people from the community, people who worked with BCC during the time that the house was operating, people who had offices there. Jeff Thickpen, our Register of Deeds, is on that committee. Gary Kenton, our board member, Steve Summerford, and others are working with them to reimagine what, when we renovate this house, what it might be used for. So one of the spaces in the house will be a training room. And this, we will have a plaque, and it will sit outside the door of the training room to denote this training. But we also will have another room in the house that will be a special dedicated room. And we want to name that room as well. And so we want to name that room the Lewis A. Brandon III Community Archive. You've heard several times today that Mr. Brandon has a collection of things. He has collected things about the history of Greensboro, and in particular, Black Greensboro. He also has collected things from the movement, and people call him up and share with him additional things. And so he says he has a collection, and that's true. He keeps us straight in terms of wanting to set the record straight, but making sure that we know that truth is important. Telling our stories are important, and to tell them accurately. I recall a conversation on our Wednesday call where there was some report of people talking about the Greensboro Four. And Mr. Brandon correctly interjected and said, no, it wasn't the Greensboro Four, it was the A&T Four. That's right. And why does that matter? Because when those students went and sat down at the Woolworths, the city of Greensboro was not supportive of what they were doing, right? In fact, the students, including Mr. Brandon, ladies from Bennett College and Dudley High School and others, worked to open up the city of Greensboro, all of its establishments, to everyone. And so it matters. It seems like a simple thing, but when we allow the history to be rewritten, then we write ourselves out of our own trauma, our own struggles, and we cannot do that. So we are so happy and so pleased to be able to dedicate this room that will house some of the things Mr. Brandon has collected in this house. And so that's what we wanted to at least acknowledge to you tonight. The house, we will be moving to renovate that house, and hopefully we'll be doing more in the months and the year to come. And you'll hear more about that in terms of a ribbon cutting and so forth and so on. But let me just say right now, because I was supposed to do this yesterday and this morning, and I hadn't done it yet. If you want to know how you can help support BCC, one, your being here is support, and that means the world to us, because it means that we're still continuing to do something that the community feels is valuable. But also this work requires resources. And I don't like to ask for money, but we can't do it without it. Let's be honest. So you will see on the tables, and some people have already, without being asked, have filled out the pledge forms and submitted them with the donation. If you feel so compelled to do so, please, we ask you to give what you can, because it means a lot, and it helps. Every little bit helps, right? We have people who have committed to $5 and $10 a month consistently over a period of years, and that means as much to us as a $100,000 check from a foundation. In fact, it means more to us than that, because that means that the community is supporting and that they feel value in what we're doing, and they want to participate. So that's how you can contribute, other than showing up, being present, working with us. But I just wanted to put that plug in, and to also let you know that the pledge cards are on the table. But anyway, so that's enough of that. I'm gonna get out of the way. I think we're gonna have dinner soon, and I hope you'll stay. We've got a really, a great dinner coming this evening. Tim is coming, and we've asked him to prepare all of the things that we know that people like and that people have demanded over the years as we've had these summits. And then we have a lot of entertainment lined up for you tonight. You just saw a little bit of what Magic is gonna give us. So again, thank you for coming, for staying with us today. We've got one more day, and tomorrow's gonna be interactive, so it'll be a lot less of us talking and a lot more of us engaging and strategizing and planning together. Thank you.